Welcome to lesson 4. Here we're going to start working on our drum fills. Now a lot of the time people say work on your groove, work on your dynamics, all these other things which are so important. But to be honest with you, we also need to spend time working on our drum fills as well. Now sometimes people work more on that than the groove and the other element. You know, we have to get an even balance here. But we're going to look at a situation with this song where they've said, Rob, I want you to play some fills. It's not just steady groove all the way through. Give me something that builds as the song progresses. So what I've done, I've written out a few different patterns and I'm playing 4 different fills that you could try. Now, obviously this feel is the swung feel, and to cover every single bass of every note value, every style of music would take years. So we're just looking at some ideas that we can use on this track. Now we've mentioned a reverse 3-stroke rough before in these lessons. They sound like this. Now that's in a straight feel, but of course this song is got the swung triplet feel, so is what we're looking for. So there's no reason, seeing I'm playing that information on my hi-hat throughout the track, and other instrumentation will be playing that as well, it seems a bit silly for me not to use that in my drum fills because it's a rhythm that everyone is using in the song. So the first fill I'm going to play for you are 2 3-stroke roughs together, one after the other, and it sounds like this. 1, 2. Now having that rhythm is fine. We need to do something with it. We need to do something called orchestration. We need to move it around the drums, present it in different ways. So again, I'll play it first on the snare drum and then I'll move it around the kit, and I'll even put a cheeky little bass drum in there which turns it into more of a linear kind of pattern as well. But there's a few different options to check out. Give it a listen. So moving on to option 2. Now I'm going to use the forward 3-stroke rough. Now the forward 3-stroke rough, when it's played straight, is like this. But we obviously are playing the swing feel, so it becomes dotted and it sounds like this. So I'm going to use a combination of the reverse, da da da, and a forward, da da da. You put those two together and it's quite a common feel, but you don't always hear it in a swung feel. So it sounds like this. 1, 2. Okay, which in itself has got a nice little groove. So again, you'll see me start on the snare drum and then I'll move it around the drum kit for you. This last fill almost feels like a double time fill, if you like. It's actually coming up on the upbeat of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 1. So it plays at the end of beat 4, coming back into beat 1. And again, I'm going to play it on the snare drum. I'm going to move it around the drums in different ways, use some of the cymbals and just orchestrate it in many different forms. But it's something that adds a little bit of excitement. The other fills were good, and of course there's umpteen options we could use, but they're very good, very tonal, very open fills. But sometimes having something like this that comes in quite fast in the groove gives it a bit more excitement and pushes it on a little bit. Check it out. So producing fills for many different songs that we play is quite a challenge. But as well as thinking of the drummy things that we can play, in other words, playing very fast or clever, intricate fills, it's all good. I'm not going to say any of that is bad. That's all good. But we also need to open out a little bit and listen to the song. What is the song telling us to play? Also, if the song is the chords are moving lower and descending, maybe go down the drum kit. And sometimes if the chords are going back up, come back up the drum set. Try different ways to be creative. Don't always think one way of playing your drum fills. And actually, if you think of the phrase fill, I've said before in clinics that I quite like the word phrase rather than fill, because fill just sounds like something you're shoving into a piece of music. But I will keep using it because it is the terminology. But think tonally, think space in your fills. Sometimes think no space, make them busier. Just have the options, because in the studio you need the options, full on, simple, both. You need both of those options. So there's just some ideas you can work on. In the next 4 examples, we are going to go from the sublime to the ridiculous. We're going to start with the first example, which is going to be pretty much close to what I played on the track. There'll be melodic drum fills, thinking tonally, leaving some space. The second one, I'll develop that. Third one, I'll develop it again. And by the 4th one, it's all bells, whistles and singing. So maybe not the version I would have used for the track, but it's another way to think, okay, there's the groove. Why can't I just chop out over the top and see what I can play under this bass line? So check them out. Right, I think you'll agree that when we got to version 4, as a drummer, it was great fun to listen to, and there was a right racket going on, and some impressive drum stuff. But the thing is, you know, if you're the singer for that song and someone's doing that behind you, that's not really going to make your song sound the way you wanted it to sound. But for us drummers, there's nothing wrong with experimenting and pushing the technique as far as you can over a groove like that. So then we got to number 3. It was getting towards that stage, but still kind of reined in. 2, it was more straightforward. And 1, as I say, was probably what I would have played on the track. So first thing is to think as a musician, not just as a drummer. Think of my drum fills that are going to fit the song. But then there's also a hack that could be worn that says, I am a drummer. I need to see how far I can push my technique in this feel and within this song. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be your decision when you're working for a producer or an artist. They're going to tell you what they want from the song. But having the options of saying, okay, I could give you this, but I could also give you de-ba-dum bosh. The options are there. And really, that's what this whole part of this lesson was about, was getting you to think about how you can create your drum fills, really going for it and also reining back a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed that. So go forth, create your drum fills. Okay, guys, so that's the end of this package. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to keep practicing, keep listening, keep learning all the time. I'd like to say thank you to Drum Dog for putting this package together. Keep checking out their website. Please check out my website, see what I'm up to. But keep drumming, and I hope you enjoy the package.